Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's we're going to be comparing this Ford Explorer Platinum to this Hyundai Palisade Calligraphy. Before we get into this video though, a huge shout out and thank you to the Kengar Ford here in American Fork, Utah for giving me some time with the Explorer. I'll include a link to their inventory in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money, the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. So under the hood of the Platinum, we have a turbocharged 3-liter V6 that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 18 around town and then 24 on the highway with power outputs being 400 horsepower and then 415 pound-feet of torque. Under the hood of the Palisade, we have a naturally aspirated 3.8-liter V6 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 19 around town and then 25 on the highway with power outputs being 291 horsepower and then 262 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we go over the front ends, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Starting off with the Explorer Platinum, you guys can see how the hood is kind of raised there on either side. I think that looks pretty cool. I like the headlights here as well. But notice with the grille, you've got chrome there, and then you guys can see with the fog lights down below. And then we do have parking sensors here on the front end, but kind of like a sort of a boxy design, especially when you compare it here to the Palisade. Now notice the hood is pretty angular, but then down below, like the front end's kind of like rounded off, and definitely an interesting look with the lights and everything. But let me know which one you like more. They definitely look quite a bit different. So with the Explorer, tire wheel setup is 275, 45, 21 in the front and over in the rear, whereas with the Palisade it's 245, 50, 20 in the front and over in the rear. So slightly smaller wheel, a little bit more sidewall on the tire, bigger wheel but wider tire, but then a little bit less sidewall. Now the next thing to note, look at the Palisade, how it's like body painted with the fender flare, whereas the Explorer, you can see it's unpainted. And then notice with the Explorer, the mirror cap is actually blacked out, whereas the Palisade is just body painted. And then look at like the trim here at the bottom with both. And then notice the trim on the door handles as well. And then here's your full side view on the Explorer. Then here's your side view with the Palisade. Now when it comes to key fobs, functionality on them is pretty similar. They both have remote start, they both have openings for hatches, but notice with the Palisade we have the self-park feature as well with the key fob, and let me know which one you like the look of more. Starting with the storage area with the Palisade, you guys can see that it's pretty decent. Again, this size of crossover, it's usually not huge in the back, but notice we've got more storage underneath, and then we have a bunch of controls here for the seats. So notice the second row you can only fold it down, but with the third row you can not only fold it down, but you can also fold it up automatically, which is pretty cool. You've got a 12 volt here as well, and I guess we'll quickly fold these down. So folded down, there's actually quite a bit more storage space here in the Palisade. The Explorer is kind of a similar story. It looks like the space is about the same. And then you guys can see here with the seats to fold those down. So you can press those and that'll do the same exact thing. And with the seats folded down, storage looks pretty much identical. Now when it comes to rear style with both the vehicles, they're actually pretty similar in terms of like the shape, but notice the Explorer is a little bit more angular, whereas this is a little bit more rounded off. And then notice we just have the 2 exhaust tips, whereas this has 4 at the bottom. But let me know which look you like more. And then popping into the Palisade, you guys can see we've got a sunshade here in the back, and then look at like the material use throughout on the door panel. Got some cup holder action here, and then here are the seats. Pretty cool looking right there. And then I guess we'll pop in here. So headroom's good, got a little storage pocket. We have heated and ventilated seats. If the camera filter will pick it up, there you go, heated and ventilated seats. We've got our own climate zone here, got some outlets as well. Third row of the Palisade is pretty spacious. We got some cup holder action here. We've got this for the seats. We actually have heated seats here in the back as well. That's pretty crazy for a third row option. And then yeah, pretty good. And we also have like ventilation throughout the top here on the Palisade. And then with the Explorer, you guys can see here with the material use on the door panel, we also have a little sunshade there at the top. I think that looks great. And then look at the seats with the Platinum package, and same thing will pop in. Ooh, this one's got a, there we go. Headroom's good. Anyways, legroom here, you guys can see. And then we've got our own climate zone here in the back. Man, this camera's being so slow with the adjusting. We got heated seats as well. Now in the third row of the Explorer, it's a little bit more cramped. Actually, you kind of sit lower down compared to the Palisade. We do have some like storage space back here, all that. No heated seats, but headroom. That's good. And then we also have ventilation throughout the top. And then popping to the front of the Palisade, you guys can see with the really nice trim that continues even on the controls and everything. Blind spot running with the mirrors. And then here's the front seat with the cool design. The front seat does have massage function, which is pretty sweet, but we'll quickly pop in. Ooh. But here's the steering wheel. You got paddle shifters on the back. We got stuff like our adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, full digital gauge cluster, which I think is fun. It does change with some of the drive modes, which also kind of, I guess, adds to the fun. And then popping it into reverse, we do have a 360 camera system with this, even like an exterior view as well. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, response time with it is solid, so that's great. It's got the stuff like the passenger talk and everything. And then down below we do have like our dual zone climate controls. Got this for our gear selector, heated and cooled seats, heated steering wheel. There's all your drive modes. You do have a center locking differential as well as hill descent control, so if anyone's gonna take us off-road. Bunch of storage here. Got some wireless phone charging pad action. Center console is actually pretty big. And then you got regular glove box, and then look at the ambient lighting. That's pretty cool. And then this also has a camera mirror as well. And then this is interesting. You guys can see we've got the sunroof here at the front, and then you guys can see back. It's kind of hard to see, but back there we also have another sunroof. There you go, maybe it'll kind of pop up on camera. So we got two sunroofs. And then popping over into the Platinum, you guys can see the material use here, like all of our controls, memory seats, blind spot monitoring, and then look at the front seat. I really like the Platinum design. I think that's pretty fun. And then there's your adjustments. And then popping in. Ooh. So here is our steering wheel. I do like the Ford logo there. We do have like adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, all of that, similar to the Palisade. Full digital gauge cluster. We got cool little things for the drive modes, just like with the Palisade. Got little animations. It does take a second for everything to load up because it's turned on the car. Now with the camera system, it does have a 360 camera system. A little bit smaller view though because of how the screen's oriented. So I guess that's the downside with the Ford. And then yeah, here's the tablet infotainment system. Response time with the screen is pretty decent overall, and I'm guessing, so this normally comes with massaging seats, but I'm guessing this one's not going to have it because it's 23, and Ford has deleted a lot of those options out of 23s just because supply constraint. Yeah, I'm not seeing anywhere, but we do have ambient lighting, it looks like, which is fun. And then anyways, analog controls down below for like your volume, radio, all that. Heated and ventilated seats, which I'm not sure why the ventilated seats turning on there. Dual zone climate, and then you can see a little charging area there. Got our dial shifter here, drive modes like this is hill descent control too, as if anyone's going to take this one off-road. And then center console with wireless phone charging pad. I do like the wood trim there, and then like the leather on the dash. It's also nice. And then this just has like a more traditional panoramic sunroof, so it's just like woo back rather than having two sunroofs. When it comes to pricing the Palisade stickers for about $52,000, the Explorer stickers for about $61,000. Okay, we are going to start things off by setting off in the Explorer, and then we're into the Palisade second. I think this snowstorm is like causing the air to be super dry because like all of a sudden my throat's just like, I don't want to work anymore, Ben. It's like, listen here, Linda, you got a job to do. But first off, seat comfort's really good with the Explorer. I will say that windshield wipers, they also work very well, so that's another big plus. And wow, that is a pretty cool Cayenne Turbo S. But getting up and moving here a little bit more. Suspension seems good through the like bumps here in the parking lot and everything. It'll be interesting to see how it actually performs on the road. Yeah, at least this person knows to not stop in front of the driveway here. Look at the snow traffic. This is gonna be fun for getting home today. Wow, that is quite the line. Maybe I'll have to go a different way. Actually, we'll use this to see how bad it is over here. Popping on this side, maybe it won't be as bad. Well, let's hope not, because we got to get back with this car. So actually, you know, moving on the road a little bit, I really like the ride quality with this. And wait just a second. Okay, we'll punch it now. Ooh. Oh. Yeah, that turbocharged engine moves. That's for sure. Man, that's serious power. So again, that's the benefit of having turbocharged engine, especially here at higher elevation. I think that helps out quite a bit. It'd be interesting to see the ride quality difference between them. I wonder if the Palisade's going to be better or worse. I think this might have rougher ride, not because of the suspension, but because of the tire and wheel setup. Again, bigger wheels, a little bit less sidewall with the tires. I think that just might make for a slightly rougher ride overall. Oh yeah, both ways, there's tons of traffic. I might have to rethink my going home strategy. So this was good for me, guys. This helps me figure out my life and what I'm doing with it in the next 10 minutes. Okay, so we are taking our final turn here. That's what I'm talking about, people blocking driveways. Yeah, we're not gonna be able to get in for a minute here because these people decide, oh no, actually the truck stopped. Good thing the truck was smart. Look at that, Rivian heading out. So yeah, with the Platinum, I think it drives well. I think the seats are comfortable. It'll just be interesting to see how this performs compared to the Palisade. So let's go drive that. Okay, so we are setting off here in the Palisade now, and good thing that I did that driving route there with that Explorer, because now I know to not get in this line of cars. Basically, I think everyone like started freaking out because the snow and left at the same time out of like all these places that work here, so they're all lining up. But anyways, yeah, the ride quality is a little bit better in this. I think a big part of it's just the wheels. So I guess if you wanted better ride quality, the Explorer, just put smaller wheels on it. Not sure if that's a factory option, but you know, whatever it is. And then yeah, it seems like the insulation here is a little bit better as well. Oh, I don't like the auto stop start on this. It's not as good as the Ford's. The Ford's auto stop start's way more seamless. Now when it comes to acceleration, the transmission's really responsive, but obviously, you know, being naturally aspirated and having substantially less power, this doesn't feel nearly as punchy. I think that's one of the big downfalls of the Palisade, is that Hyundai doesn't offer this with a higher performance powertrain, right? Hyundai's probably just like, if you want more performance, get a GV80, right? Get the Genesis. But it's like, you know, people want value in today's market. And so I think a Palisade with the, you know, with a turbocharged V6 or something that's less expensive than a GV80, I think that's the route to go. So setting things up with this comparison, here's kind of my feelings. Oh wow, good thing I'm not going up to Salt Lake. I think that I like both of them. I know that some people are going to be like, well, this proves that the Palisade is such a good value because it's so much less expensive than the Explorer, and you know, fair enough, because they're technically in the same segment, but at the same time, the Explorer has a much more like high performance powertrain, and if the Palisade had a powertrain similar to the Explorer, I feel like it'd be about the same, it'd be $60,000. That being said, this interior does feel more like luxury compared to the Explorer. Although I do like the dash material. This is nice, but the Explorer dash is nicer with the material use. So it's kind of mixed. There's upsides and downsides to both of them, honestly. But yeah, let me know which one you guys like more. I think you get more features in this, but I feel like the Explorer, obviously you get more performance. So yeah, tough choice. Let me know which one you'd pick.